What is going on, you beautiful people? My name is Vin.
I'm sorry.
We are about to listen to some new metal.
Did you download the pictures?
New metal from the bands that got me into metal. So we're in some really good shape here. I'm very excited. Very excited. Okay, so we're doing one per, right? Basically, is that the idea?
There's 3 pictures and 5 songs, so some of them are going to be doubled up. I can't answer your question and talk to the people at the same time.
Oh, you can't.
How is everybody?
Okay, that's interesting.
Interesting
predicament.
That should be fair. A fair statement.
How is everybody doing today?
Pulling up the. I got to get to the. It's a very nice day in Maine today. Yes, that's where we're from. We are from Maine.
The neighborhood, a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Would you be mine?
Here we go.
Would you be mine? You know, for some reason, shout out to Tony. For some reason, every time I hear that "It's a Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood" song, I always combine it with I just forgot.
Oh, that's interesting.
Oh, with "If I Only Had a Brain."
Oh, really?
Yeah, so it's always like, it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, a beautiful day in the neighborhood, if I only had a brain.
What?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's the same. Maybe it's the same. Maybe it's the same tune. Huh?
Oh, maybe it is.
Maybe it's the same tune.
Oh.
You don't know.
Maybe it is.
What's going on, Slipknot Sean?
Hi, Slipknot Sean.
Slipknot Sean in his ass. Gang, gang, gang. Negative Vibes is working on engineering stuff in his office, doing his thing, and the trang.
Here we are.
Okay, guys, we're gonna get right into it. The first contestant. Who's the first contestant in our new metal day? Korn.
Yep. And I gotta read a little intro, so I'll do that, I guess, after the.
What happened? The pick is too stiff.
After the commercial, huh?
He said the pick was too stiff. Hey, Goth Mama in the house, gang, gang. He said the pick was stiff.
What does that mean?
I don't know. Did you pick it?
No.
Oh.
He sent it to me.
Okay, well, maybe the other picks will be less stiff.
Oh, maybe the way he stands stiff.
You got
I know, it's cute.
Got the crown on.
It's a cute little emoji guy. All right. So you want to do the Goth Mama, what's up?
Commercials on the way, and then Korn coming up right now, bitches. Vin,
I'm sorry.
if you would like to get your song reviewed, dear listener, there's the Filthy Capitalist option. As Sori says, 125 gets you straight to the head of the line. You don't have to be a part of the alliance. You don't have to be part of the group.
Wait a minute.
And the biggest thing is you don't have to wait. You hop, skip, and jump right in front of everybody. 125 gets you there. You do that 3 times, and then get mashed down to the $75 rate for perpetuity.
Yes!
Also, there is a band review option. So if you've got a band and you're trying to get your band some exposure, hit me up at insori@gmail.com, and I'll show you the details about how to pull that off.
You can also jump on Patreon, and there is a option on the tiers to be able to get your band reviewed. Yep. Obviously, we can't lie to you, so we can't guarantee a positive review. Get what you get.
It's just rubbish.
Rubbish. That's British for garbage.
My favorite is the community option. $1 at the gate gets you in at Patreon. You get to join an alliance. The alliance joins their points together, and that helps determine what songs that we do.
The alliances hang out on Discord.
Message me on Patreon to get the link.
And they do all kinds of other cool things. They do Minecraft, Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. It's really a community within the community. Anybody can go in the village, facebook.com/VIN and SORI. There's 160,000+ people on the channel. What's cool about the Discord is that it offers a real opportunity for community connection, friendship, that type of thing.
And it's on Discord, so if you're not a Facebook person, it's for you.
You start off at $1.
Right.
Plus you get exclusives. SORI and I are working on a song. So the first 15 seconds of that was on Patreon. Also, at $15 tier and above, when we actually debut the video, they're going to be there live with us. There you are, dear listener.
Buy our merch.
Buy our merch indeed. A child shall lead them.
Yes. To buy our merch.
Yes, dear listener.
All right, you guys. DJ the Lone Rider.
DJ Tony the Lone Rider.
Going up at the top. You're going to put the little ticker. So the first song that he has on his list is Korn, The Broken Soul. He said this is part
Broken Soul.
What did I say? The Broken Soul?
You said The Broken Soul.
Oh. Excuse me. So sorry. This is part 2 of my new metal stream series. The last new metal stream I did had Spineshank, Seven Dust, Papa Roach, Mudvayne, and Limp Bizkit. It's a series of new metal streams that create one big album. Korn, This Broken Soul, is an unreleased track from their debut album. Love the chunkiness of the song. I don't have a broken soul, but I sure have a lost one.
Yeah, this was on the Niedermeyer's Mind demo, I'm pretty sure.
I've never heard it, so.
Which Niedermeyer, you got to be a really big Korn kid to understand about Niedermeyer's Mind, okay? And you're not at that level of fandom, but I is.
Yeah.
I is. I'm the resident Korn expert here, bitches. Okay, here we go. Toil Leader, the Lone Rider Smith, Korn, This Broken Soul. Let's go.
This broken soul, 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 this broken soul.
That was a demo. I was listening to
What does that mean?
A demo is
That
like
means it just comes out by itself before the record comes out?
Yeah, like before GarageBand and stuff.
Yeah.
You know, you'd make these demo tapes, and sometimes you would buy studio time or whatever, but you didn't have the real money. Like what we're doing right now with GarageBand is like, you would never be able to do that back in the day as a regular band.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't sound like the way that you intended it. You know, it was the quality was a little bit lower than you would expect from Korn and all that. And so the demo tape is usually it's usually like just to give you an idea of what the band can, not like to judge, you know. Record label would it was always a fixer-upper, basically. It was like, is this the kind of house you want to invest on? Really?
Oh, so it was for the record label more than for future sales?
Yeah, like this didn't even make it on any of the records.
Oh.
But you hear...
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah,
okay.
so it was more like you were listening to the concept of the band and what they could do.
Okay.
You know, that's what a demo is, like a demonstration, basically.
Well, he puts his pain into songs. Like the way that he does it, you just feel...
Well, yeah. But it's just funny to me because, like, this must have been recorded 92, 93, possibly. And it was just... they were just still good. Still very, very, very different. Because at the 92, 93, you're still grunge, a lot of Pearl Jam.
Yep.
You know, a lot of, you know, things like that. Right? And so it definitely had some of that grungy type vocal style, which I actually miss. Like especially the first record, it was Jonathan, but it was like a grungier type of Jonathan. And I actually love that vocal style from it. That's actually my favorite, probably vocal era. Well, the follow the leader vocal style, I like that too. Like Jonathan's vocal style has evolved so much. Like it's weird.
I feel like it's gone through a lot of transitions from what I've heard. Yeah,
it's weird because it sounds a lot more conventional now. Actually, like his vocal style now is a lot more conventional, and their song structures. Although in the last two records, their song structures have been weird again, which is cool. But for a while, it was verse, chorus, verse, middle, you know, end type of situation. But yeah, like Jonathan's vocal style now is a lot different than when he first started out. But I like that like grungy, still heavier type of vocal style. But these guys were just really, really, really good. Like as far as they were so different and innovative even at that period of time. Like I'm working on ours, it's like it's okay.
You're crazy.
You know, it's I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying it's okay. You know what I'm saying? Versus when you look at, you know, what those guys
I so disagree.
are doing.
I feel like yours are so complex because you switch through different things and then you're putting things together that are not normally together. I mean, I just disagree with you.
What did you holy shit, Dwayne is 60?
Yeah, I know. I was gonna say, but he still thinks he can beat you up, Vin.
He probably could. Would I look like beating up a 60-year-old man? What's wrong with you? What type of person you think I am, bitch? Shout out to Dwayne and all the 60-year-olds out there. Still grinding, still gangbanging, still doing their thing. Remember we were at that show, I think it was Neo, and there was like this 65-year-old guy there. He was at the show.
Yes.
And I felt bad because I felt like I kept digging myself into a hole. Because the guy was like, "What, are you saying that because I'm older?" Remember that? And I was like, I mean, well, yeah.
But, you said that once before. There was this...
I hurt the feller's feelings, I think.
There was this woman that was... She hadn't very much matured in her thinking on certain subjects. And you were like, "You could be my mother." I was like, Vin.
Yeah, no, I wasn't making fun of her. I said, you should love me.
Yeah.
I said, you should love me. You could be my mom. I didn't say you could be my grandmom, even though that's what I was thinking. Shout out to the homie.
Right, but they were saying at the time you were 40. So if she was your mother, she'd have to be like 60.
No, that was like 5 years ago, B.
They were saying you were 40. You don't remember the article? A
No,
40-year-old
honey,
man perched
honey,
upon
no,
his...
No. That was no. That those events were completely unrelated. Completely unrelated.
I thought they were at the same location.
No, they were completely unrelated. As far as like that goes. No, she didn't think she read me.
No, I'm just putting those two together because I think it's funny. I don't think it was in this,
unrelated.
but we were at the same place when they happened.
You were looking at that as an insult. She wasn't looking at it that way.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because white women want to hear that. They want to hear that they could be your mother.
The emphasis was you should love me. That was the emphasis.
I think, yeah, I agree with you. I think that's where it came from in your heart. I'm just not sure she took it that way.
That was the emphasis. This was
weird. He said, I can't remember the day when I lie and cried. I miss the day, I miss the time, the day, though I try to hide it from you. I can't even, my head's not even like wrapping on it because I'm like, wait, I can't remember the day when I lie and cried? You'd think that he would be saying, I can remember the day that I did that.
Well, I think it's in his mind. In his mind, he can't pinpoint it exactly, but it comes out of his soul. So he can't hide it from her or him, whoever it is.
Oh.
You know, so like the dichotomy between what the mind feels and what the heart feels and all that.
Yeah.
Like
okay.
It's a very fascinating thing to. This is one of the funnest things to me about Jordan Peterson was really the first one that like put me on that track where we are saying some really amazing things and we don't like realize what we're saying, and to a degree it's terrifying. It's like when he was saying, people are like, oh, your dreams are just your subconscious trying to tell you something when you're asleep. It's like, holy shit, like there's a part of my being that just chills out and waits.
Devious.
Because it has something to say, like it's got a mind of his own.
Yeah.
And it's like, so now this horrible thing happened with this person and him or whatever, but his mind can't exactly recall it. Mm-hmm. But then there's another part of him that has, you know, I call it emotional memory or whatever. Mm-hmm. There's another part of him that is just like, it's so forceful that he can't restrain it. Mm-hmm. He's saying, I can't deny. Well, okay, what part of you isn't denying the thing?
Right.
And then there's another part of you that's saying, no, I'm coming out here.
That's pretty
there's
wild.
One part of you that's saying, no. And another part of you saying, fuck you, we're going here. What?
How is this happening?
That is incredible to me. That is, you know, and people say like, oh, I'm just, you know, you're trying to suppress your emotions, but then they come out. Why? Why does it do that? I think, you know, like that's mind-boggling to you. It's amazing to think about. And, you know, people try to, it's so funny to me, like the less educated you are on these topics, the more definitive people sound when they try to explain them. They go, oh, it's just chemicals in your brain, blah, blah, blah. Nobody who's truly educated in that field believes it's that simple. Mm-hmm. It's not.
Right.
It's a very fascinating thing, and a lot of times, like, what we are as people is really a balancing act between the things that made us happy and the things that hurt us. Mm-hmm. And then the other part of us that's trying to come up with like living in the eye of that storm on both sides.
Wow. Yeah.
And what we call a mature person or what we call a sane person, fill in the blanks, a lot of it is just whoever can stay in the eye of that storm the most is seems to have the best time at life. If
yeah, that's interesting.
You know, because you're able to integrate all of that pain and then you're able to communicate it in a way. And I think Jonathan, the music for Jonathan is a way that he combines his mind with his emotions. It's, you know, because you have to sit and think about writing and then you're able to ventilate it emotionally. And I think for him, that's the way of combining himself or recombining him, you know, those fragments.
You were you gonna say?
No, go ahead.
You were saying earlier a little bit about, you know,
gang.
I've been seeing different people talking about like loss and stuff and grief and how dealing with grief is extremely difficult. And a lot of times people don't want to feel their emotions or deal with their emotions. And so then they push that off. But you never heal if you don't walk through and work through the emotions. And it's, there's a couple people on my feed that are going through, like they just had experienced losses, and I'm watching them as they're like walking through it, and the stuff that they're saying, and some of the stuff that they're saying, you know, like one of them said, like, you can't send grief away. You have to invite it in and sit down and basically have a cup of tea with it, because if you don't contend with it and face it, it's going to keep coming up when you don't want it to. So you're better off to deal with it now. And I was like, okay, like how, like, what does that actually look like? You know, because I mean,
yeah,
I'm assuming that a lot of this stuff that Jonathan sings about happened to him when he was a child.
Oh yeah, 100%.
You know, and he hasn't, you know, I don't know about now, but you know, it seemed like he was not able to find, at least at the point of this song, to really find that healing for it, because he's still singing about this broken soul, no one to hold me. Like, it seems like there's a loss there that he feels, and a brokenness that he feels, and he doesn't have anyone to comfort him in it. So, you know what I mean? Like, what do you think about that?
What angle of it?
The facing the grief thing, like, how is somebody supposed to face that without burying it, so that way it pops up when they don't want it to?
Well, I think sometimes it's not wise to face your grief if you don't have a good support system. So, you know, people say things like, oh, you have to invite your grief in and things of that nature. Mm-hmm. It's like, if she's got a good support system around her, yes.
This is the guy, but yeah.
Or him, yeah. Right? But if you don't have a good support system around you, sometimes the grief can completely destroy you. You know, and again, Jonathan, yeah, he was a child. Some of this stuff was childhood stuff. Some of this stuff was teenage stuff. But by the time he'd gotten into a band, he had brothers that he was around every day working with. Mm-hmm. And then he was able to express it out to the crowd, and the crowd would give him feedback. So he was holding all that stuff in. Maybe if he would have faced that stuff as directly as he does in his lyrics, it would have killed him. You know, that's the problem with a guy like Cobain, for example, where he had his bandmates, but for whatever reason, he didn't connect with them to that point. Whereas Jonathan, you know, he had a family tragedy a couple years ago, and he went out and did a show, and at the end, he's like, I did it, and then the entire band was around him, hugging him, and making sure he was good. Like, so he has a really, really good support system. But when you don't, you know, sometimes it's unwise. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I think that this too, like, this is like I would just turn my grief and sadness into anger and rage, and it got me through. Not healthy, but it worked. I feel like that can't work long term. That it may have worked in the moment, but long term, would that work long term?
Well, again,
because anything that's unhealthy always has its fallout somewhere. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of unhealthy things. So that's why I'm saying, can that work? Like, that seems unhealthy. And I mean, he admits that he doesn't think it's the healthiest thing, but
I just think it depends on the circumstance, you know? Like, what will save your life in Antarctica will kill you in Africa.
Yeah.
Right? So, like, if you wear a, 50-layer jacket or whatever it is in Antarctica, that will save your life. But then if you wear that same thing in the Sahara Desert,
right,
you're going to die.
Right.
And so I just think a lot of it is you have to understand your own historical context and where you are and what's going on around you. And that's why I'm such a big believer in self-awareness. Sometimes you have to say to yourself, okay, now is the time to convert grief to anger or hurt to anger. Like, so for example, if a woman's being abused, for example, and the primary feeling is depression. I'm so depressed that this person I love is doing this to me. The depression locks them into a certain state. But if they convert that depression into anger, that anger might give them the boost that they need to get out of that situation.
Yeah.
And so temporarily she needs to shut down that feeling of sadness and embrace that feeling of anger so that it could function as a propellant to get out of a bad situation. Then once she's in a safe environment, and again, with support, she can go back to, this is how I truly feel about it.
Yeah.
So you just have to understand yourself, where you are, and all that. Huh?
That's pretty balanced and wise, I think.
Yeah. So it just really depends, and it's hard to tell anybody, what you should do in that situation or how you should manage it. But some of this stuff is natural intuition, which is, again, it's kind of like Inside Out, that thing where you had different kind of emotions that were functioning autonomously.
Who's going to use the...
And then they had to figure out how to work together.
Yeah.
Which I thought the reason that cartoon was such a hit was that it was...
relatable.
It's relatable, but I think it's true to a degree. We've been so brainwashed by physicalists and naturalists that we forget just how incredible we are. We've got a bunch of competing consciousnesses within us that makes us us. And instead of just pretending that you're just a bag of chemicals and sand, if you understood that you're a compilation of different consciousnesses, then you can engage yourself in such a way as to make them work together.
Yeah.
For your super ego or whatever you want to call it. And that's kind of been the way that I've been for the last year. That's the way I've been looking at myself. I'm a compilation of consciousnesses that are competing with each other, and it's my job as the me to bring them all together and say, okay, you guys are not enemies, you're friends, you just got to work this shit out. And so my goal is one, and even the song, he says this broken soul, which I look at it as, this glass sort of plate that gets shattered. Now it's broken, and now there's all these fragments. And your job is to, with the help of God, obviously, to piece them back together for some kind of oneness. Yeah. But you see that brokenness comes in where on the one hand his mind is saying X, but on the other hand his heart is saying Y. Which, of course, whatever. But, okay. I wouldn't, Alan, to be honest with you. I wouldn't analogize that. Go ahead. Right. And now Franz,
I already tried that, Alan.
Franz says he has a proper support system, wife, kids, and all that, and so he was able to look at his situation and deal with it accordingly.
Yeah. Yep.
And I think that's the right way to do it. Temporarily. Go ahead. What were you saying?
Oh no, I was going to ask you. All right. Well, what do you give it?
I'm going to give this one a solid 8.5. It's Korn. It's Korn, but it's a demo tape. But it's a highbrow demo tape.
Yeah,
shout out to Germany. Perkenhouse in the house.
8.3 for me. For me.
We're coming back with what was this?
El Nino.
El Nino.
El
Nino, not El Nino. El Nino was a stall.
Yeah, well, that's what's in my head.
El Nino, dear listener, we shall return. Vin out.
Sorry out.
Gone. Was that El Nino? When I come around. Okay.
You're the king of the stream is going to be switched out for Vacation King.
Yes.
All right, but the
Oh, and he had his faith. Yes, Norse heathenry. I got you, buddy. I got you. I miss Korn. Why am I even here? You got a call from Germany today? Very odd. I talk to German people practically every day, and that's no bullshit. But one day we'll tell you guys that story when
it is bullshit.
When we make negotiations for peace, inshallah. Commercial break, bitches. I'm Vin.
I'm sorry.
If you would like to get your song reviewed, dear listener, there's the Filthy Capitalist option. As Sori says, 125 gets you straight to the head of the line. You don't have to be a part of the alliance. You don't have to be part of the group.
Wait a minute.
And the biggest thing is you don't have to wait. You hop, skip, and jump right in front of everybody. 125 gets you there. You do that 3 times, and then get mashed down to the $75 rate for perpetuity.
Yes!
Also, there is a band review option. So if you've got a band and you're trying to get your band some exposure, hit me up at insori@gmail.com, and I'll show you the details about how to pull that off.
You can also jump on Patreon, and there is a option on the tiers to be able to get your band reviewed. Yep. Obviously, we can't lie to you, so we can't guarantee a positive review.
You get
what you get.
It's just Rubbish.
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 That's British for garbage.
My favorite is the community option. $1 at the gate gets you in at Patreon. You get to join an alliance. The alliance joins their points together, and that helps determine what songs that we do.
The alliances hang out on Discord.
Message me on Patreon to get the link.
And they do all kinds of other cool things. They do Minecraft, Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. It's really a community within the community. Anybody can go in the village, facebook.com/VIN and SORI. There's 160,000+ people on the channel. What's cool about the Discord is that it offers a real opportunity for community connection, friendship, that type of thing.
And it's on Discord, so if you're not a Facebook person, it's for you.
You start off at $1.
Right.
Plus you get exclusives. SORI and I are working on a song. So the first 15 seconds of that was on Patreon. Also, at $15 tier and above, when we actually debut the video, they're going to be there live with us. There you are, dear listener.
Buy our merch.
Buy our merch indeed. It shall lead them, dear listener.
Okay, you guys, next up on the list.
That one's gone. We got a new icon for the big homie.
It's the king on vacation.
Oh, is that what? Well, he doesn't have his crown anymore.
Yeah, but he's still the DJ king.
Ladies,
with or without the crown.
Just saying, ladies, just saying. Can't get a little bit more stylish than that. Metaverse Tony.
Yeah, Metaverse Tony.
Tony the Lone Rider Smith, bitches, in his house.
So Il Nino is the band. What Comes Around is the name of the song. I love the variety of the different singing styles in this song. And sonically sounds good to my ears as well. Okay.
Yeah.
We'll let you know what we think.
Shout out to the homie, by the way, for over 2 years kicking the alcohol addiction. Very well done.
Oh,
Very
yeah,
well
yay!
Done.
And yes, Tony, I just told him. I said he changed his mind on that one. So we're gonna go with the king for the rest of it.
AT is our DJ that's coming up. He says, "Can I give alternating icons? You're the king of the stream." Well, you're not the king of this stream. The big homie is the king of this stream.
Yeah.
But when it's your stream, dear listener, it's your stream. Whatever you want.
You decide.
It's yours.
You're the boss.
Gotham is yours. Oh, speaking of which, watch the new Batman, guys. I think we're going to watch that one again.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Me and you.
Yeah, I would do that.
Like randomly.
Yeah.
At night.
Yeah.
Maybe. Or maybe in the afternoon.
Or maybe then.
You know what we're going to do right now?
We're
gonna watch Il Nino! Dumb butts. Alright, guys. Il Nino! What comes around? Let's go! Oh, you hate me.
Just a piece of what there is to gain. You think it's cool and all is fine. Now is a day when you pay. This is my time. I feel for you nothing but pain. I am what you will be. You are dying in me. así. Y la gratitud que tú nunca vas a ver. So now turn to hate. I have nothing to say, but I feel like my mouth is open. Everything that is real comes around. I have nothing to say, but I feel like my mouth is open. Everything that is real comes
Yeah! Damn it!
Okay, this one would be a Sorry playlist song.
Oh, it's a Sorry. Yeah, you would have really liked new metal. You would have liked new metal. It's very accessible, very low commitment, 3.5-minute songs. You know what I'm saying? And you never had to wonder what was going on. And I also liked a little Spanish flair. I like the Spanish
I did
flair.
too. I agree with you, Tony. It switched the vocal styles a lot. I enjoyed that as well.
Skillet in the house. We actually saw Skillet live one time. We were covering what's the name of that band? Kill Switch Engage. And Skillet was there supporting, inshallah.
It's the weirdest thing. I don't even remember.
Well, we came in kind of late, so they were like 2 or 3 songs left. They had 2 or 3 songs left. But the dude was he was converting the crowd.
Okay, you know what happens to me? I'll get distracted by like minuscule things. So for instance, when we went to see the Batman movie, I had to tell myself to stay focused on the storyline because I get so distracted. This is very weird. I think it's because of the sheltered way we were brought up. But when I get in front of that giant screen and it like spells Batman from like floor to ceiling, I start thinking, how many people would that take to stack up to that B? And then I'm looking at different, and then I'm like trying to,
Really?
and then I'm so distracted by those things. I miss the story. Or there'll be like an explosion, and I'm like, I wonder if that explosion was done like a big thing, or if it was like a tiny little explosion that they did, but they made it look like it's big screen. I wonder how they did that. So I have so many questions about how they do the things that they do that then I miss whole chunks of the storyline. And then Vin will be like, hey, you know what? So I'm sure when I saw Skillet, because Skillet was something that when I was a teenager in our youth group, we listened to Skillet.
You were allowed to listen to Skillet?
Yeah, we were allowed to. And I had a Skillet CD, and all of them were like really like skinny people because they were all like young. And then they were more like older people now. So I'm sure that I was distracted by that and wondering if they were going to come out with one of the songs that I would recognize, blah, blah, blah. So, and then I'm sure I thought about different stories from when I was a teenager. And then before I knew it, the whole thing was over and I never heard them. Oh, no.
Well, the big thing was it's your band with the girl. I forgot the name of the band.
In This Moment?
In This Moment.
Oh, they were there that time?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, but really?
Yeah.
That's when it was?
Yeah, and then remember the girls all
In This Moment was outside.
Yeah, Skillet was outside. It was a festival. It was like a 2 or 3 day
I loved that
festival.
one.
Yeah.
I loved the camaraderie with the women.
Well, on the stage, the girls in the crowd were
not the ones in the crowd.
They're about to fight. I was like, "Yo, you good? You good?" You were
Threw
like,
that beer in that girl's face.
"No, that was the Korn show when the beer got in the girl's face." The other one with the girls were just shit talking each other the entire time. And
oh yeah, that was it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
When you asked me if I was okay?
Well, yeah, I kept asking you. I was checking on you.
What'd I say?
You're like, "Oh no, I'm good." And you're like, "Fuck 'em."
It's all the way good.
Fuck them bitches.
I thought it was interesting. The only thing that I didn't like was when the girl threw the beer in her face. Like, I know that was the other show, but that to me is so rude and insulting. You know how I am about like my face.
Yeah,
like,
I know.
Don't you even like if somebody would do that? I would absolutely have attacked that girl if she did that.
Somebody
to me.
did that.
Unless God told me not to, and I felt like listening.
Like you would have done it anyway.
I said, and I felt like listening because yeah. No. Anyway, yeah. So this is a fun song. So it's a relationship song, I think. Davey!
Praying for you, Davey.
Davey, seriously.
We're gonna shoot a video for you very soon.
Wow.
Hopefully it'll cheer you up, inshallah. It'll cheer you up, inshallah.
Okay, so it's a relationship song. Is that what you got from it as well?
Yes, but I'm not certain who the relationship is with.
I don't know either.
It could be his parents, or it could be a girl.
I didn't think parents. So let's see. You think that I'm the one to blame. Okay, I hate you. Shut up. You think that I'm the one to blame. Everything I lose is just a piece of what there is to gain.
The only reason I said it could be
Wait. What does that mean? Everything I lose is just a piece of what there is to gain. In other words, he can get back what he's lost.
Yeah.
Good for him. Okay, what were you saying?
Maybe. You're always thinking you're so perfect. Those thoughts drove me away from home. That's why I said it could be his parents.
Mm-hmm.
And then it says, but
yeah, but it could also be his girl, and then he went off to do like music.
Yeah,
and that's what made him even more be like,
this
I'm
guy's
gonna hit the road.
in his 20s when this is out, right? So when a 20-year-old says that drove me away from home,
yeah, it's his parents.
Yeah, I generally would assume that would be his parents. If a 30-year-old says that, it could be both. If a 40-year-old says that, it's his horrible ass wife. Mm-hmm. So you're always thinking you're so perfect, but those thoughts drove me away from home. But if you put me through your tests, then I will fade. That's the thing. Is like parents do that. They put their kids through all this, crazy ass these tests to prove their worthiness or whatever. Mm-hmm. And I've never seen that end well.
Yeah.
I've never seen those control mechanisms that parents put their kids through.
Yeah, and I think like that's one thing that as I've gotten more and more used to your parenting style, I'm seeing it from like the kids at a young age. So like Orion, he's 2, he's almost 3, but he's so friggin' opinionated. And like he wants to do something, like he'll tell you straight up, no, he's not gonna kiss you, which I find offensive. Although Selah showed me a go around for that. All I say is, she said, every time you go to leave, just say, Orion, I'm leaving, kiss me. And now he does. Oh, that's good. That's manipulative. That's great. I'm leaving. I am leaving. Yeah. And then he's like, okay, well, you're leaving, then I'll kiss you. Yeah. Anyway, but you see that side of his personality because, or like him throwing a fit over something or getting like really passionate about something he wants or doesn't want because he's allowed to have his own opinion as a 2-year-old. Where see, I don't. I know that you think that's weird sounding. Such a weird thing to say. He's allowed to have his opinion. Everybody has an opinion. No, yeah, they do, but you're not. We weren't allowed to express our opinion. It's the expression of the opinion. Right. So because he can express his opinion, I find it fascinating to see that he has such a strong opinion. Or like, he's not always nice to his little brother. But like this morning I went in and Reza was sitting there with that little book we got him for his birthday. Yeah. And Orion said, I gave him the book. Like he might go in there one time and he takes all his blankets out of his brother's bed and leaves him with nothing. And then now he goes in and now he's like sharing the stuff. So I don't know, it's cool to see, it's cool to see when you let people be themselves, like what to see their personality comes out to be. Why do you think parents do that with their kids? Like why don't honest to goodness, kids? I think that it has a lot to do with people's opinions about your family. So I could very easily tell you what Selah was going to do in a given situation because of the way that I trained her. And so when I went out publicly, like everybody was always singing my praise. Oh, she's such a great little girl, blah, 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 blah. It was a constant. People were saying it. Orion, I don't believe people would say, I believe that people would say, that they would think he was cute. You know what I mean? But like, they're not going to be like, that is one good little boy. He'll probably not. Right. Probably so not. I think that, a lot of times people care so much about other people's opinions that it actually takes away from relationships that they have because they're so worried about what other people think. And so they want to keep people in a certain, I don't know, that's just my thought. What do you think? Well, that's one of the things that when you're growing up with your family, you don't understand about your parents. In what sense? Oh, that they care about other people's opinions? Your mother straight out said it, right? Huh? Didn't your mother straight out say it? My parents did. Oh yeah, Jamaican child rearing. I mean, that's yeah. At least my Jamaican child. But you told me that like the neighbors could hit you. Oh yeah. Like if you do something, the neighbors will hit you, and then they'll bring you to your parent, and then your parent will hit you for what you did and hit you for having to be hit by the neighbor. 100%. I'm like, yo, that's a lot of hitting. My God. Davey. Davey goes, did you cut your hair? Looking good. You look handsome, Vin. Don't ban me. Nah, Davey, you're good. Davey's in the circle. No, Davey, I didn't cut it. I flattened it with a little flat on her arm. That's what it is.
But the thing is, like, what you don't realize about your parents is that they were parented that way.
Oh, for sure.
So the anger that you feel as a kid with your parents, like when you have kids yourself, a lot of the times it gets converted into a form of pity, where you go, "Oh, that's what you were going through." Okay. Although with you, not so much. You're like, "Why did you?"
Yeah. No, I haven't hit that point yet. I mean, I have for some of the things, but
you haven't hit the pity point yet for your parents.
No,
okay.
no, because I'm still dealing with a lot of the fallouts from it. So I'm like, not. It's hard for me to, But then I look at the other kid. Like we have one very prideful child that when she has a turnaround, and she realizes, oh, wow, they were really good. You know what I mean? Like, she just thinks that she can do everything better than us right now. Like, she's on her lofty little hill,
Who, Zoe?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, he judges
I'm
the
like,
hell out of us. It's hilarious.
One day she's going to realize it.
We don't judge our kids, but they judge us.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
That's how relationships run.
You still judge the kids. I really don't judge them. I'm just more like, whatever. We'll figure it out. We'll get this thing figured out.
We'll get it figured
out.
Our
kids, Zoe will literally do this. Like,
yeah, she does. Her nose literally goes in the air.
There's a meme of Obama where he's like this. It's like it's unbelievable. Shout out to Obama. Oh, maybe we will shoot A11. Maybe we will shoot a video of our beliefs. That's an interesting one. Yes.
Oh.
Okay. What did you give the song? Because I'm not gonna get too much into the parenting thing because the last song apparently is about parents.
Okay.
Shout out to Kenneth Wilson. Yes, we all made us.
When he says, I have one last thing to say over here. I have nothing to say, but I feel like my mouth is open. Is he saying like, look, I'm not saying anything about it right now, but I do have a lot to say.
Yeah, that's what he's saying. He's saying, I have nothing to say, but I feel like my mouth is open.
Mm-hmm.
So, sometimes you have nothing to say because you can't because of the environment, and sometimes you have nothing to say because you're just tired of saying the same shit over and over again. It can be a lot of them.
So he's talking about his parents when he says, your stupid face just makes me sick? I see you changing every day to fit the newest cliche.
I feel like he's talking about his dad. Most dudes don't talk about their moms like that. What did you get the song?
I gave it a 9.6.
I knew you were gonna give it high. I'm gonna give it a solid 8.9. Solid 8.9. Really good new metal song.
This is such a fun stream. We're doing a new metal stream, you guys.
Yes, and we have a different picture every time.
No, we don't.
Oh, we don't? Is this the same?
No, it's gonna be the king. The king is next, and that's where it's staying. The king. He's staying as the king. He ditched the other one.
So are we keeping this one?
No, his vacation picture is now over.
Okay.
Now he's going back to be the king. So put the king picture back up, please.
All right.
The blank theory is next.
We shall return with the blank theory. Vin out.
Sorry out.
Go. Okay, guys, commercial break. You know the drizzle. A11 product. Thank you so much for watching us for years. We will check you on the other side of the commercial, bitch. I'm Vin.
I'm sorry.
If you would like to get your song reviewed, dear listener, there's the filthy capitalist option. As Sori says, 125 gets you straight to the head of the line. You don't have to be a part of the alliance. You don't have to be part of the group.
Wait a minute.
And the biggest thing is you don't have to wait. You hop, skip, and jump right in front of everybody. 125 gets you there. You do that 3 times, and you get mashed down to the $75 rate for perpetuity.
Yes!
Also, there is a band review option. So if you've got a band and you're trying to get your band some exposure, hit me up at insori@gmail.com, and I'll show you the details about how to pull that off.
You can also jump on Patreon, and there is a option on the tiers to be able to get your band reviewed. Obviously, we can't lie to you, so we can't guarantee a positive review. Get what you get.
It's just rubbish.
Rubbish. That's British for garbage.
My favorite is the community option. $1 at the gate gets you in at Patreon. You get to join an alliance. The alliance joins their points together, and that helps determine what songs that we do.
The alliances hang out on Discord.
Message me on Patreon to get the link.
And they do all kinds of other cool things. They do Minecraft, Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. It's really a community within the community. Anybody can go in the village, facebook.com/VIN and SORI. There's 160,000+ people on the channel. What's cool about the Discord is that it offers a real opportunity for community connection, friendship, that type of thing.
And it's on Discord, so if you're not a Facebook person, it's for you.
You start off at $1.
Right.
Plus you get exclusives. SORI and I are working on a song. So the first 15 seconds of that was on Patreon. Also, at $15 tier and above, when we actually debut the video, they're going to be there live with us. There you are, dear listener.
Buy our merch.
Buy our merch, indeed.
Buy our merch.
Child shall lead them.
Yep.
Okay, dear listener, we are in the midst of a new metal stream. New metal is brought me to the fold. Right there is DJ Tony the Lone Rider Smith.
Change his picture. Put him back to be the king. The king of the stream. The king of the stream is here. Okay, so the next song on his list is The Blank Theory. Have you ever heard of them?
I've never heard of The Blank Theory before.
Okay,
in my
excellent.
life.
Me neither. And the name of the song is Addicted. So he says Deftones-Birthmark. Wait a minute. Nope, that's for the other one. The Blank Theory, Addicted. New one song from this band from the Freddy's vs. Jason soundtrack in 2003. But a couple months ago, I looked up more of their music and found this song, which I instantly loved. Classic nu metal sound, and I love how he sings the hook on the song. My favorite song on the stream. I feel like, Tony, that we have the same taste when there's a singing voice.
I think you
So
guys do.
whenever
I
you
think
say
you
that,
guys
I'm
do.
always like, yes!
I think you guys do. All right, here we go. Blank Theory. What's the name of the song again?
Addicted.
Addicted. Let's go.
Find yourself in circumstances that you can't control.
Hate that.
You follow
thing with new metal. It just stops so abruptly.
Yeah, it's the 3.5 minutes.
Low commitment.
That's it. No ring out, no nothing. Huh?
Yeah.
Yes, Dwayne, that is the blank Fury.
Yep.
Addicted. All right. Well, Soraya,
Go ahead, babe.
we're
Tell
gonna
us
go
unhealthy.
ahead. We're gonna go ahead and guess how Soraya feels about this song.
Tell us how unhealthy it is, Vin. Tell us.
I didn't say it was unhealthy. Go for it.
Well, okay.
Say what you want.
To be honest with you, even I was like, wait. Well, first of all, when it starts out, you find yourself in circumstances that you can't control. I don't like that situation. I don't like to be in a situation where I'm not in control. You follow me around everywhere and everywhere I go. But then he says, it's the way you want it. And it's the way I've worked it out. So they both want it like that? Or is he telling her that because he wants her to believe that?
What do you mean by that?
He says you find yourself in circumstances that you can't control. You follow me around everywhere I go. It's the way you want it. It's the way you want it. It's the way I've worked it out.
Well, yeah, it's a codependent, unhealthy relationship.
Okay, so you think it's and it's not just like he's trying to convince her that that's also what she wants?
No. There are girls that want to be in that circumstance.
What? Okay. So, okay, the only part that I was like, I liked the part I want to give you more.
Davey's like, this sounds stalkerish.
It did. I agree. I thought a little bit like,
yeah, but she likes that shit.
I do.
Depending.
Right.
You got to be a certain type of dude.
I do. Yeah.
You got to be a certain type of dude. Yeah.
I want to when he was saying I want to give you more, then he says I want you addicted to me. I'm like, okay, it just depends on how that is. Like, I'm growing, I think, because codependent relationships, I'm seeing how it's not the healthiest type of relationship. And so, like, they were saying, we were watching this show right now, and they're saying, oh, you're my best friend. And I'm like, some people, so there's like one couple that she wants him to end all relationships basically before her.
No, she wants him to end all exes.
That too, but when she was saying it, she's like, I think that there's like a lot of like people from, I don't know, maybe I'm reading into it. It seems like she's going to keep wanting to cut more and more and more and more and more until he finally puts his foot down.
Well, I just think
maybe it's just
the circumstances with the other girl and then the exes.
Oh yeah, in her past and everything.
She wants to be prioritized. Like, I don't have a problem.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with the girl saying, especially if you're getting married. If we're gonna be married, all your exes, that's gotta go. I don't have a problem with that. I think that's rational. That makes sense. I don't think that that's crazy. Mm-hmm. What is crazy is if you like have a business partner or some shit that you have to do business shit with, and she happens to be a female, and then your wife going crazy about it and like trying to create all these rules.
Wait, you mean like when they call you when you're out to dinner together and they know that you were going to be out to dinner and they text you constantly? You mean those type of people?
How would she possibly know that we were out to dinner?
Well, you said it.
There was literally one text.
No, she was messaging a lot.
We went out to dinner one time, and this girl that was working for me texted me, and she had a connection.
It was after hours.
And she continuously brings it up over and over again.
It was after hours, and it was a long. See, the thing is,
then she uses the term after hours.
It was
as
after
if
hours.
That means anything to me. You guys know I stay up till 3 or 4 or 5.
You guys weren't talking about business stuff. She was talking about something else. I can't remember what it was. And like, when you're the one that's doing the texting, it probably feels short. And when you're the one sitting there watching the other person text, it feels very long. Plus, I didn't like that girl because I already felt like she was like too much up on you. And you're just trying to get work done.
Is there any girl I worked with where you didn't feel that they were too much up on me?
Yeah.
You wouldn't have survived. So I had to quit my other job. You wouldn't have survived, bro, honestly. But yeah, go ahead. What were you saying now?
So, shoot, I don't remember.
No,
it was about ending the previous relationship things.
Yeah, I said that was rational for her to think that way. Like, but what I'm saying is the way that you were with my job, my other job was not, in my opinion, wasn't rational. I had to work with them.
Yeah, you're just so friendly with people. I don't think that you were
doing
anything.
I'm friendly with
it's
the
just
people that work for me.
Yeah, And then that
And
girl
I
was
was
saying
working
things.
from home, dear listener.
Yeah, I know.
It's not like I would go off to the office.
I do agree that I was over the top.
She
about
was
it.
insane. It's not like I would go off to the office and then she would find text in my phone. It was literally, I was in
Yeah.
my home office. She'd be right there. You know.
Yeah.
One time the girl called me Vinny. You went crazy on me. We had to have she's like, we have to have a really serious discussion. She called you Vinny, and that's a nickname.
No,
that
I was like, don't let her call you that.
No. We had to have a serious discussion.
Is that what I
pulled
said?
Yeah, you pulled me
Oh,
aside.
that's good. I was being honest with you.
Yeah, and you had a very, very serious face, and then you were angry at me.
A very serious face.
You were very angry at me. You're like,
I was.
Why was she so comfortable calling you Vinny? Your name's Vincent. Why is she so comfortable calling you that?
Yeah.
And I'm like,
You're her boss.
I was not her boss. We were at the same level. That was Danny.
I know who it was.
Yeah.
I'm well aware.
R.I.P. But I was not her boss. We were literally at the same level.
Okay, so then that's even worse.
But yeah, codependent relationships are for the birds. They're terrible. They're terrible. Run! Although I will say,
first of all, it wasn't Vinny. Vinny's not the name. It's another nickname that I have for him.
if it's the girl
that I won't even say publicly.
If it's the girl,
And somehow she knew that one. It wasn't somehow. It was
if it's the girl,
comparable to Vinny. But
I think if you're the dude and the girl is insecure and codependent, that's okay. You can work it out. But if it's vice versa, run. Run. If it's vice versa.
okay, I will say from my perspective, I didn't feel healthy when I was like stalkerishly. Like I would walk, he would be working, and if I walked by the door and he sounded like he was like way too happy with people, I'd stop to listen to who he's talking to. What is that girl saying? Blah blah blah. And
guys...
like I didn't like being that person, and I was totally that person, and I didn't like it at all. But I felt like I couldn't really I don't know. Like I'd never been with anybody that I thought that like other people would be interested in this person, but I feel like you're such an amazing person. Like I feel like, look at you.
Go ahead.
I do. I feel like that. Like any girl would be like, oh man, they would be like happy to be with a person like you, because you know what, you don't put it all out there. Like you guys have no clue. Like you're very like you stepped out of a movie. And you wouldn't know by just like looking at you or the way that you present yourself here, but you're very logical, but you're also a diehard romantic, but not for the sake of being a romantic. It's just you. So I'm like, I know that, you know, that's something crazy. And I always wanted to have somebody that was like, you know, crazy about me. And you are. And I think that makes me even more like sometimes I think maybe I hold back a little bit because I'm like, I don't want to, what if you leave? What if somebody, but then I'm like, well, that's crazy. This is Vin.
What if what?
Like, what if something happens and all of a sudden you're like, wait a minute, you've put me through a lot of bullshit. I'm leaving.
Right, because that's what I've demonstrated.
No, I know. You haven't. I mean, shoot. You're still, yeah, anyway. Yeah, it's irrational. I get it. I'm working on it, though.
But I do. It is kind of an emotional chemical addiction. You know, when you're in defense mode or whatever, your body gets flooded with all this adrenaline, and then when you get affirmed in your neurosis, it gets flooded with all these endorphins. Like, yes, okay, I'm safe. So it really is a form of a drug addiction.
Yeah.
Really, really, that cycle of, you know, adrenaline and dopamine and all that shit that just, phew, people get addicted to that shit, and then they get addicted to those cycles, and they get addicted to the, you know, and they think that that's love. I mean, I remember in high school, like that was like such a cool thing, you know, especially in the metal world. It's like, oh, we're sick together, yeah, we're sick, yeah. Let's spread the sickness, babe. Yeah.
Oh my God.
We're edgy. Look at that. We're so bloody edgy.
Oh my God.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But then, like, you hit your 20s and you're like, this shit is for the birds. Like, can we grow up? We're gonna grow up or no? No, we're not. Okay, let's continue to be sick. You know what I'm saying? She's weird, bro.
Yeah.
It's just a weird, it's a strange type of.
Yeah, Tony, I see what. So he's like, sorry, you wouldn't be single long. Yeah, but the thing is, I don't want to be with anybody else but Vin, and I feel like that. If I did something like screw up our relationship and you were gone, that would be like, you know, I said like all my life I wanted to live my life without regrets. I feel like that would be my lifelong regret that I would never be able to get over.
Yeah, I understand that, but you know, I don't even think about that type of situation because I don't believe in living your life via fear. You know what I'm saying? Because a trillion things could go wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like all I can control is what I do, and I can barely control that. So I'm not gonna sit there and start cogitating on, oh, this could happen, this could happen, this could happen, and oh, regret. But you know, you were raised to nurse fear. You were raised to nurse it and live in it and all the rest of it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so,
I rejected that for years, and then
yeah, you did.
And then all of a sudden
did.
it just
Which
I feel like that when my life collapsed in on me, which, you know, maybe some people would look at that and say, well, it wasn't really that bad, but I don't know, from my perspective it was like devastating. But I feel like that once that happened, then I was like, okay, nothing is fucking safe. You know what I mean? Like, but that,
and I understand that,
and especially because like there were certain like things that, as crazy as they were, that I was taught that like, hey, if you hit these markers, then you're gonna be good. And I was hitting all those markers. You know, I'm not saying I was a perfect person. I wasn't a perfect person, but I was hitting the markers that I was taught to hit, and it still blew the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, so then you're like, okay, well then what are we supposed to, and then like with you, it's like, well, there's no markers. We're just going to love each other, and we're just going to live life, and we're going to get frustrated with each other, and we're going to laugh together, and we're going to, you know, whatever. Like, it's just, we're on this ride together. Yeah, we're going to build tea on each other. I'm sorry that I got mad.
Well, why?
No, I'm not sorry I got mad. I'm not sorry I got mad, but I'm sorry that you had to feel sad that I was mad, or whatever you were feeling. What did you feel?
I thought it was funny because this is what you've done our entire relationship.
I had a cup of tea in bed. Like, literally, Vin had just made me the tea and passed it to me. I hadn't even taken a sip. It was still so hot. And he had put, like, his bread on the bed, and I moved my leg.
I had not put my bread on the bed. Somebody had put my bread on the bed.
Babe, I didn't even leave the bed.
There you go, blaming me. Go ahead. Tell the people. Go ahead.
Okay, anyway, so when I moved my leg, it dumped over the plate of cornbread, and then the cornbread was on the blanket.
Cornbread!
Yeah.
Get it, bitches?
So Vinny decides that he's going to take that off. So I literally have the cup right here because I was, like, blowing into it. And then he pulls the comforter, dumps the cup, half the cup of boiling, very, very hot tea on me. All my skin was red. I said, I stopped, and I said, very, very hot tea.
Ladies
I
and
said,
gentlemen,
very, very hot.
Boiling.
It was all bright red after because he had poured the tea on me.
Okay,
and
boiling.
So, for all my life, we were not allowed to be angry. So, I expressed frustration and anger.
Misery!
Yeah, but we went on. We went on.
Me. Yeah, we went on. I was just,
you laughed.
I apologized immediately.
You did.
But it's just funny to me because Soraya does that to me once every 2 or 3 days. She'll knee me in the ribs.
Knee me in the ribs.
Knee on knee shit. I mean, really, really horrible shit. And I can't say, fuck! I can't do that. I gotta be like, yep. Because if I say, what the fuck? She'll be, so I just have to just, it was like in Get Out. It's Get Out with the black people. They were prisoners and shit. And the lady was like,
"Stop me!
I love being here." I was like, "I love this fucking throbbing pain in my knee. I don't have a recurring knee injury from whatever. No.
From whatever. Well, you should tell me what the whatever is.
Why?
And maybe I could be more sympathetic.
I fell down some stairs. I told you that. You know that. I fell downstairs.
Now I want more detail.
What do you mean?
You know what I mean.
I fell down some stairs.
Okay. So when the person was saying, I want to give you more, I thought that was cool because I think that that there is a certain holding back that people can do in a relationship, maybe out of fear, maybe out of whatever. And like, I think it's cool if two people can be in the same relationship that both want to like give to each other and they want to give more to each other. Both parties doing that, not just one and then the other one's like, yes, thank you for this tea, thank you.
Yeah.
And then, but then he's like, I want you addicted to me. So I wasn't sure if the reason he was saying I want to give you more was so that way she would become more addicted. Like, was that the goal?
Well, that's obviously the goal. That's what he said.
So that's what I think is a little bit like, that's not good. What?
Yeah.
And then, like, at the end, like, it got really like, what? Where did he say that?
What?
Hold on.
The further down you still want, I don't mind pretending I'm someone else, whoever you want me to be.
Well, this part.
I think that's a terrible line.
As long as I'm inside you, you'll never want me to leave.
It's like a drug.
Yeah.
So the whole pretending to be somebody else for somebody else.
Oh, and then this. All the things you'll never be, the further down you walk with me. And once I had the things you'd want, now I have something that you need. So he's basically trying to set it up so that way, like, she needs him.
You notice how she's completely skipping over the part where he's saying, I'm going to pretend to be somebody else?
Wait, I didn't even see that.
See? And you just saw it, dear
Yeah,
listener.
you were talking while I was
twice.
I was looking for something.
She looked at it twice. Read it to her twice. Doesn't matter. She
I don't mind pretending I'm someone
else.
else.
The bad guy. Obviously.
I don't mind pretending I'm someone else, whoever you want me to do. Oh, yeah, I heard that when the song was playing it. And I was like, that's also
Why
scary.
does he have to pretend to be somebody else? Because she doesn't accept him for who he is. But that would make her the bad guy. And we can't have that. So she completely skipped over that to go down to the other one.
That's not what happened. Wow, you are so judgmental.
Watch the video again.
Wow, I made a reaction.
I'm happy that
I made a reaction.
We're watching this show right now where the poor fella's an atheist, and the girl is a supposedly a Christian, but okay, whatever.
Yeah.
There's hope for everybody, I guess. SubhanAllah. The guy seems to be more of a Christian than she, but whatever. Yeah, she's completely playing this guy.
Yeah.
But
she is.
But the guy is like, he's like, I can be willing to learn about Christianity. Hey, you know good and well. He's like, man, this shit is dumb as hell, nigga. But he's pretending that he's gonna try because he wants to make it work so bad with this girl. And like, for me, it's like if you have to constantly compromise your own personal integrity, then it's just not worth it, man.
Yeah.
It's not worth it. The avatar on the left is Tony, man. That's the king of the day. No, you did not miss Mudvayne. But
this is like literally what he looks like too.
I know.
I tried to make an avatar of myself, and it doesn't really look like me.
You're irreproducible.
Aw.
You're irreproducible. Well, you're irreproducible.
See? Now are you doing that just so you can control me?
Huh? Oh yeah, sure.
So anyway, right
don't
there,
do it, brothers. Don't.
He says, and now I have control.
Yeah, all of those things are horrible. All those things are horrible. This is a terrible relationship. Both of them should flee, but they're not going to unless there's something bad's going to happen. Terrible relationship.
I still like the song. I like the vocal style. This one is a 9.4 for me.
I knew it. Yeah. New metal is your genre. 8.9 for me. Really, it was a really good bridge too, going up to the chorus. Mm-hmm. Really, really good bridge. That was my favorite part of it. All right, dear listener, you think maybe the stream is done? No,
it's not. We have Deftones next.
We have Deftones on the way. So there you are. Actually, I'm very excited for this because I've never heard this song before, and I actually like the Deftones. So having said that, dear listener, VIN out.
Sorry out.
Gone. Okay, guys, we're coming right back. Commercial break. Let's go. I'm Vin.
I'm sorry.
If you would like to get your song reviewed, dear listener, there's the Filthy Capitalist option. As Sori says, $125 gets you straight to the head of the line. You don't have to be a part of Alliance. You don't have to be part of the group.
Wait a minute.
And the biggest thing is you don't have to wait. You hop, skip, and jump right in front of everybody. $125 gets you there. You do that 3 times, and then get mashed down to the $75 rate for perpetuity.
Yes!
Also, there is a band review option. So if you've got a band and you're trying to get your band some exposure, hit me up at insori@gmail.com, and I'll show you the details about how to pull that off.
You can also jump on Patreon, and there is a option on the tiers to be able to get your band reviewed. Obviously, we can't lie to you, so we can't guarantee a positive review. Get what you get.
It's just rubbish.
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 That's British for garbage.
My favorite is the community option. $1 at the gate gets you in at Patreon. You get to join an alliance. The alliance joins their points together, and that helps determine what songs that we do.
The alliances hang out on Discord.
Message me on Patreon to get the link.
And they do all kinds of other cool things. They do Minecraft, Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. It's really a community within the community. Anybody can go in the village, facebook.com/VIN and SORI. There's 160,000+ people on the channel. What's cool about the Discord is that it offers a real opportunity for community connection, friendship, that type of thing.
And it's on Discord, so if you're not a Facebook person, it's for you.
You start off at $1.
Right.
Plus you get exclusives. Sori and I are working on a song. So the first 15 seconds of that was on Patreon. Also, at $15 tier and above, when we actually debut the video, they're going to be there live with us. There you are, dear listener.
Buy our merch.
Buy our merch, indeed. A child shall lead them. If you saw the little baby, the adorable little baby, that's because, dear listener, we are doing a cool little thingamajiggy for a little baby whose mother is currently pregnant. I think they're going to have a kid in November, inshallah. And you guys know how we are. We love life. I
think she's further along than November.
We love kids. Okay, July. I don't know. We love kids. We love life. So there's a nice little baby registry. We'll put the link of that in the description. If you purchase enough to be equivalent to $75 or above, you get a free song. But you don't have to do all that. Just $1 here, $1 here. Anything helps. We've been able to clear like 27 items from that registry.
Yep, I'm gonna put the link in the description.
So I'm very, very proud of our community as always. Send us a screenshot of those. I think she's got 20 weeks to go. Send us a screenshot of those thingamajiggies, and we will be able to get you guys a song. Okay. Having said that, dear listener, the time has arrived.
Yeah.
This is the Deftones.
Right, and so the name of the song. Oop. Okay,
the name of the song
we're doing
is
Deftones-Birthmark, and I'm sorry, you guys, next door somebody is using like this really super loud power drill, and when it first started, I thought they started playing metal music over there because it was so. Okay, anyway, so the DJ, the king of the DJ says Mudvayne-Seed, that's not the one we're doing. Deftones, I'm so sorry. Birthmark.
Deftones.
Just a song with a cool vibe off their debut album, which is my favorite of theirs. All right, cool.
Okay, I have got to get these lyrics down because Chino's lyrics are really strange.
Okay, and also, you guys, I'm putting the link for the registry in the description of this video.
Chino Moreno.
So if anybody wants to do that, like, you're still going to get your song review, but you get to help out a mom too, so it's a cool way to do it.
Oh.
What happened?
Okay. All right, guys. Here we go.
Deftones-Birthmark.
Deftones-Birthmark, bitches. The time has arrived. Spooky. so different than everybody else. Deftones. Okay. Now.
I literally don't have any clue what the song is about.
Well, I told you. That's why I said I got to copy these lyrics. This Chino is always gonna do something.
Really?
It's
Okay.
like avant-garde.
Yeah, well, it was.
Avant-garde. I think he's like an automatic writer. I just think he just writes whatever pops into his head.
Okay.
Like I've never seen him. Well, that song Changed. I watched you change.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
That was pretty coherent.
Yeah.
But this one, I have a general idea of what I think he's talking about.
Okay. I have no idea.
Okay. Oh, you read? Yeah.
I'm waiting for you to tell me.
Lyrics right there.
I'm reading the lyrics, babe, but it's not making any sense to me.
I'd meet you in wrong, bury all, then I would be right with her. In whole, cherished by two.
Two different people?
Yeah. So he said, I'd meet you in wrong. So he's with a girl, and if he was with another girl, that would be wrong.
Yep.
And then it's basically he's dividing himself.
Bury
between,
all as in like don't say, just bury the whole thing and don't tell her.
Yeah.
Then it would be all
then
right.
I'd be right with her. In whole, I would be cherished by two.
Yo.
Which normally you'd be like, oh, you're splitting yourself between two people. Mm-hmm. But they both love him singularly. So in whole, he's being cherished by two people, but he feels bad because he's meeting this girl in wrong.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Right? So that's how I took the first. That's how I took the first. Little stanza. I'd meet you in wrong, bury all, then I'd be right with her.
Yeah.
In whole, cherished by two.
It makes you fly. Yes, I'll lie. Fly means hot, right?
Fly means what?
Hot.
Hot? How?
I don't know. This black guy told me one time.
Oh, fly, like, oh, that girl was fly.
Yeah.
Yeah, like okay. You're a bad bitch. But
Makes
I don't think
it makes you fly, yes, I'll lie. What, it doesn't make her hot that she's like this little hidden bitch?
No, I think it makes you fly is the fact that he lies to her. Like, it puts her on cloud 9. His lies put her on cloud 9. It makes you fly, like literally. I'm taking fly literal, like in the air. Well, metaphorically, like in the air.
Yeah.
I don't think he's using that slang.
Okay, so you think he's saying, I'm going to make you, like your head go to cloud 9? Yes, I'll lie? Oh, he's lying to her?
You're right. His lies make her feel good. So it puts her up in the air. It makes her fly. Yes, I'll lie. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
God, I'll even lick her picture in whole. Drinks won't stain this birth. Go ahead.
I don't get that. What do you mean lick the picture? Why would we be licking a picture?
I think that means like he still loves her. He loves the other girl too.
So he's telling girl number 1, I'll still lick the picture of girl number 2?
I think he's telling girl number 1, I'll lie and make you fly, and then he's looking at us. You know, like in Shakespeare when you do the soliloquy, and then he looks at the audience. So I think he's looking at the audience and said, "Yeah, I'd lick her picture in whole. Like I really do like her." I think he's just talking about and then what alcohol does as well, right? Mm-hmm. So in whole. Because he's divided between two people, but he's saying, yeah, but like I really truly mean this with all my heart. Like that's the thing. That's why I keep saying like people are really complex. People think like, oh yeah, you're with two girls, so that means half you's over here, half you's over there. But that's not really how it is. Like he genuinely likes her here for these and these attributes, so his whole self is with her here. And then with this other girl, he genuinely likes her here, and his whole self is over there. I think. When he says, I'll lick her picture in whole, I think what he's saying is like, he really does. Yeah, I'm really attracted to you. Just because I'm liking this other girl doesn't mean I'm not attracted to you. Now look, here you go. Go ahead, say what's in your head.
I mean, I don't
ahead.
like that, obviously. I mean, like, we're seeing that on that show, So.
What do you mean?
I don't feel like you're like that. I feel like that you're like with me 100%. You know what I mean?
I'm not like that.
Yeah, but there are people that are like that, but I.
Look, I believe marriage is for specific kinds of people. I think there's some dudes that shouldn't get married. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
or you do the Islam thing and you have 4 wives or whatever.
Yeah.
But monogamy I think is God's best, but I think there's a lot of dudes that don't have the maturity level to get married. Because when I see something like, I look at like, oh, this is an opportunity, and it's not like, Tony Robbins shit. This is my mentality. Like, we're supposed to help each other grow as people.
Yeah.
And a lot of times people are like, oh, that's really good. Yeah, that's a great idea. But a lot of what growth is, obviously here comes the gym metaphor, but a lot of what growth is resistance training.
Yeah. Yep.
And it's painful. I was doing, anybody that's ever done leg day at the gym, it's painful.
Yeah.
And it's uncomfortable. And that's where you get the most of your gains and the most of your growth. I mean, if you've ever been to the gym, like that's kind of the panic point, is when you're doing the same exercises and there's not really much exertion. I'm looking at my heart rate when I'm in the sauna, you know what I'm saying? And like nothing is, it's staying at 120. And I'm like, shit. So then I start doing, leg lifts or something to get it up. And like, I got to grind to get it up to 140, where like 3 weeks ago,
just sitting there got me to 150. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So my point is like, bad times in a relationship are it's like, okay, this is where you're going to get a lot of your gains. But a lot of people want to be in a relationship and plateau. So what happens is when you have another girl that doesn't challenge you in the way the other girl does, people think that they're falling in love with the other girl, is what I'm saying. Because she doesn't challenge you that way. So you think, oh, okay, this is what the relationship's supposed to be like. Oh, that's
but
really
then that other girl is missing the factors that you truly, really love about girl number one. So now he's in whole with both of them is what it looks like to me.
Okay. All right. That's interesting.
It's just me. I'm bored. See? I'm bored. Carried lung. Now I could be right with her in whole, cherished by two. So he's looking at it and he's saying, this girl is just boring, man. It's just boring because everything's going too good. Go ahead. What were you saying?
I can't remember this. I can't remember what I was going to say. That's such a ugh.
I feel like you're not saying something.
No, that's because I had something to say, and then like I started thinking about everything that you were saying, and then I got off my train of thought of what I was going to say about it. Yeah, I don't know.
That bothers you? Mm-hmm.
Well, one, yes, because I can see how, like for me, I don't like it when there's like a lot of like resistance, because I'm like, oh, this probably not good, blah, blah, blah. Like everything should be a little more. Yeah, we had this
discussion on Sunday. You were taught that resistance in a relationship is bad.
Well, it's interesting because my father didn't like a lot of it. Like he felt like they should be agreeing on a lot of stuff. And if there's not, so my father was the one that didn't like a lot of resistance because he felt that was a bad sign. My mother didn't think that was a bad sign. My mother thought that resistance was, I think that she looked at it kind of more like you do. Mm-hmm. So I kind of think that's a little bit interesting, but like when I step back, or like if I listen to Jordan Peterson on relationships and stuff, he always talks about like the person that you want to marry is the person that's going to give you feedback, that's going to push back on you, and someone that you can actually grow with. Oh, that's what I was going to say. So I used to like, one of the things that would trouble me growing up was, because I always thought about being in a relationship. That was like my thing. I mean, I was in kindergarten wondering if my husband was going to be in the class. Like, I don't know what was wrong with me, and I remember thinking, yo, if I meet him, I'm going to have to wait friggin' so many years before we can get married. This is going to be insane. So I always had like this, I don't know, view of relationships, marriage in particular. But I was like, I always asked the question. I asked it to a bunch of people and nobody ever gave me a satisfactory answer. I said, okay, is there one person for everybody? Like, generally speaking, is there that one person that you're going to find that you guys are just going to like hit it off and like you guys are the shit together? Like that's it. Or is there multiple people for one person and you pick the one out of the multiples that you like the best? And that troubled me that I didn't know the answer. What is it? Because I want to know. Like, to me, the one person, like the one person that fits you, like you're looking for that one person. I love that concept. And that's the one that I want it to be real. But that's not what I was seeing in front of me. Like, I felt like people were in relationships and still thinking about other people and whatever. And then, like, I remember hitting a point where I was like, what would be the worst is if you loved two people. And how would you get in that situation? Like, you know, the whole, what was that one with Tom Hanks, Shipwrecked or something like that? Like,
yeah.
Like,
horrible.
You know, something horrible. You're with somebody, you love that person, and then some event happens, and then they think you're dead, and then they move on with somebody else, or you're the one that does that. You know, you waited around for them, they're not coming back. You get word that they're dead, blah blah blah, and then you move on and build a relationship with somebody else, and then all of a sudden they come back, like, and now you're like, holy shit, like, I love both of these people. But now, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to. I would just that the idea of being in that type of situation to me it was absolutely terrifying. And then, you know, obviously, like, my first, like, real relationship, I never got over that relationship. Even though I was the one that ended that relationship, I never got over it. And then when I got married to my first husband, it was, like I stayed focused on my own relationship, but there was, like, there's a part of you, I think it's the emotional side of you, and you can't deny it. It's not like you can just flick that off and just turn it. It's there. So you either decide if you're going to, like, pamper it and grow that, or you're going to say, I'm not even going to touch that because that's not good for my relationship. And so that's what I did with it. I just kind of pushed it to the side, but it was something that would kind of come up at me at different times. And I kind of felt like I was in that situation where I was like, kind of, you know, but then, you know, after everything that went down and then you and I landed together, then I'm like, no, there's one person, because all of that, I could have skipped all that other stuff and just been with you. And I don't have to make myself get over that, you know, that young relationship, because essentially it's almost a problem-free relationship. You're both young. You don't know the questions to really ask. You think that you do. You know, you feel in love. It's the first time you've ever felt in love. You know, it's the first of a lot of things. And so, like, the relationship can feel like a big whatever. But, like, this relationship eclipses everything before it. And then you make me say, okay, no, there is the one person, because the people that you were with previously, like, you know, you were in relationships, but, like, this relationship is the shit for you. And for me, it's the same thing. And there's struggle in the relationship, and there's, like, that's the one thing that I think is really cool, is that and I don't think that everybody wants that type of relationship, but there's, like, the highs are, like, really high, and then the lows can feel really, like, you know, or maybe they just do to me because I'm super emotional. I'm not sure. Yeah. But, like, that, there's, like, excitement in the relationship, you know.
Never a dull moment.
It's not boring. So I guess, like, yeah.
It's a very very interesting question, because you see some people,
and that's what's being dealt with in that show.
Some people in the Bible, like, you could tell, like Jacob and Rachel, for example, like.
And that's the thing. I would see it in the Bible. You'd see that.
That was his one.
That was it, and it stayed his one forever.
Yeah. Whereas Abraham and Sarah, it was a more like a visionary type relationship. Like, it didn't really seem like he was, this is my, you know, one and only type of thing. She died. Yeah. He buried her. Terrible. Then he goes off and marries Keturah and moves on with his life.
You know who else I also kind of thought, like, I mean, you weren't supposed to think this. You were very discouraged, but Samson, like, how he was with Delilah, like, I mean, she ruined him. Yeah. Like, she didn't obviously share the same as what he did, but he obviously felt like she was the one, because he literally gave her the keys to the kingdom, and she destroyed him. Yeah. But,
there are degrees of kinds of relationships in the Bible where, like, you could tell the dude, he just, and God says, like, he just loved Rachel. He had to work for her for the 7 years. It was like 7 days, yada, yada, yada. And, you know, there's some people that hit each other like that. Isaac and Rebecca was an arranged marriage, you know, so it was, but Jacob, like, loved her immediately. Yeah. The minute he saw her, he loved her. And, you know.
Well, and who was the one? It was Jacob. Yeah, Jacob. Who did you just say?
Well, Isaac and Rebecca was an arranged marriage.
Yeah, and then Jacob. Yeah, and that was Joseph, right? Joseph was their kid.
Yeah.
Right.
Seduct.
And then Benjamin was another one of her kids.
Seduct.
Yeah. It was just...
Right.
So, like, you could see that even though, like... I mean, like, in those types of relationships, like, even the years later, you could tell by the way that the two... Because he married two women. Not by his choice. They forced him into that. That was horrible what they did to him. But, like, you could tell that... I mean, Leah always felt like she was not as loved as Rachel.
Yeah.
Because it was how it was.
Because he didn't love her like that.
Right.
It says, and the Lord saw that Leah was hated. You should have participated in that shit, bitch. Shout out to Leah, though. She's basically her grandmother. She's a great-great-great-grandmother of
Do you
Christ.
think that if she would have said, I'm not going along with that something better would have come for her? Do you think that the way that she's kind of described and...
I think relationships are just really, really, really... It's hard, you know, because I feel like such a, you know... I was in a relationship where it was more like... Before you, it wasn't any of these blah giant, but there were emotional connections and there were, you know, whatever, and we had kids, and I was cool. I was ready to go to my grave with that. Like, I don't need to have giant, you know, whatever. And now I'm in this relationship, and you know, I mean, it's very convenient. You know what I'm saying? Like, I you know, I've been in both of them, but yeah, you're definitely like they're the way that we are, like there would never ever be another human being on this planet ever. I'm not talking about now, I'm talking about ever, that we would ever relate that way. And it's not just because everybody's different. I just know it's the same thing. Like there's no other Rachel for Jacob. Rachel dies and he's done. He was done after that. You know what I'm saying? And even when he got Joseph back, he was still done. Wasn't like his life was paused. Like it was just over. That was his girl. That was it. That's all he wanted. And I think like he experienced it and he's like, okay, like I did that. Like that part of my being is closed off. Like it's completed. I'm good. And I think that's why for me, like if you know, if me and you, if I ever existed on this planet without you, you know, I would be loved. But if I ever existed on this planet without you, like, it wouldn't be this sad thing where, like, I'm going to determine to be destitute. It would just be, it would be like Tom Brady finally coming at peace with retirement and saying, I won 7 Super Bowls. You know what I'm saying? Like, that part of me is satisfied. It's complete. And so that part of my being is off. And that doesn't say anything about you if that's not the case with you. I'm just saying, like, that's how it is. That's what you are for me. So that's the main reason I would never, you know, go anywhere else. It's like, yeah, I'm winning the Super Bowl every day. You know what I'm saying? Why would I go? And I was losing every day before, so I know what it's like. That's the thing. It's like I know what it's like to lose every day. So now I'm winning every day. Like if I get in an argument, like ridiculous. Go ahead. What were you saying? We gotta rate the song. We spent way too much time on this.
Yeah. For me. Whenever I picture, like, if something happened to you, I'm like, I would not get back into another relationship. I say, you know, like, the Gracie and Frankie show?
Yeah.
You know, the one that's really, like, she's kind of crazy. She wears, like, hippie kind of clothes and stuff. She smokes her pot and stuff. I feel like that I'm just be like some old lady like that. Like, just go on with my, like, you know, I don't know, go to the flea markets, do the different things, and, like, just, I don't know, be like a grandma to people or something. Like, I don't see myself in that situation either. Again,
what did you give the song?
Oh shoot, you go first.
7.8 for me. 7.8 for me.
8.1.
Yeah, it's definitely like Chino's writing style, but I'm not sure that like it had that distinctive Deftone sound. Although
he sounded like
the vocal style.
Yeah,
I didn't really know he had that kind of a vocal range, especially when he was younger. You did listen to my Think We're Gone, but we're not. We have one more song for you by the band Mudvayne, which is, I think, aside from Korn and Slipknot, I think Mudvayne is my... I don't know if they're my third favorite or second favorite nu metal band. I don't know. It's between them and Slipknot. I'll probably give it to Mudvayne, longevity-wise. I don't really listen to a lot of Slipknot after Iowa, so
Okay.
Mudvayne is officially my second favorite new metal band, so they're coming around the corner soon, inshallah. Vin out!
Sorry out.
Go! Oh! Holy shit!
It's so funny, Amy.
I'm so happy right
Seriously,
now!
the DJ was just saying this stream misses you. Look right up there. I was like, she's been summoned, and then all of a sudden, boop, you pop in.
Oh, I'm so happy. I almost
You
hit
made it
finish.
for the last one.
I'm so happy. All right, we got one more song left. We shall return, bitches. I'm Vin.
I'm sorry.
If you would like to get your song reviewed, dear listener, there's the Filthy Capitalist option. As Sori says, 125 gets you straight to the head of the line. You don't have to be a part of the alliance. You don't have to be part of the group.
Wait a minute.
And the biggest thing is you don't have to wait. You hop, skip, and jump right in front of everybody. 125 gets you there. You do that 3 times and then get mashed down to the $75 rate for perpetuity.
Yes!
Also, there is a band review option. So if you've got a band and you're trying to get your band some exposure, hit me up at insori@gmail.com and I'll show you the details about how to pull
You
that
can
off.
also jump on Patreon, and there is a option on the tiers to be able to get your band reviewed. Obviously, we can't lie to you, so we can't guarantee,
Can't guarantee
a positive
you
review.
A positive review.
Get what you get.
It's just rubbish.
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 That's British for garbage.
My favorite is a community option. $1 at the gate gets you in at Patreon. You get to join an alliance. The alliance joins their points together, and that helps determine what songs that we do.
The alliances hang out on Discord,
Message me on Patreon to get the link.
and they do all kinds of other cool things. They do Minecraft, Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. It's really a community within the community. Anybody can go in the village, facebook.com/VIN and SORI. There's 160,000+ people on the channel. What's cool about the Discord is that it offers a real opportunity for community connection, friendship, that type of thing.
And it's on Discord, so if you're not a Facebook person, it's for you.
You start off at $1.
Right.
Plus you get exclusives. Sori and I are working on a song. So the first 15 seconds of that was on Patreon. Also, at $15 tier and above, when we actually debut the video, they're going to be there live with us. There you are, dear listener.
Buy our merch.
Buy our merch indeed, it shall lead them.
So we are on the last song, sadly, of our DJ stream, but it's not so sad because we still have an entire song review to go.
For sure.
We have DJ Tony in the house. Here he is. He's the king of the stream. And the next song is Mudvayne-Seed. He said another pre-LD50 song. It's one of their better is it LD? Yeah,
LD50, yes.
Sounding songs with an important subject matter. Vin will definitely have some good insights in relation to this song. Okay.
Alrighty then. Having said that, I felt like they had an LD50 song called Seed. Okay. Seed, Mudvayne, let's go!
Myself up off the ground, head down. A secret disappear, and it's right in front of me. Father, please don't make me choose between you. I love both of you, my lovely. I want to be as just little me. Father,
about a divorce and parents putting the kid in the middle?
Yeah, I think that's what it's about.
Yeah.
I think that's what it's about. Shout out to my mom, but I mean,
Yeah.
it gave me middle child syndrome on crack. So my mom used to go back and forth between Jamaica and America, because you make the American dollars, you come back to Jamaica and live like a king. That's pretty much how it went down. And so they had me. So they had my older brother, then they had me, and my mom and dad just didn't work out. She ended up staying in America. So I had a couple years I never saw my mom, like consciously, you know what I'm saying? And then this woman's walking down the street, and my cousin says, "Yo, that's your mom." So I was like, "Word?" He's like, "Yeah, that's your mom." So I ran out. I'm like, "Hey, are you my mom?" She's like, "Yeah, I'm your mom, blah, blah, blah." And like, she was like a goddess to me, bro. She's like she's a superhero. Like, she drank Pepsi, she smoked, she cussed. Like, we were on like the aristocratic side of Jamaica, so it was a lot of like propriety and King's English. Definitely Jamaican accent and shit, but it was so my mother was just like, I completely idolized her. Anyway, long story short, we ended up with my mom. But my dad basically was like, the message, I don't know if my dad explicitly said it like this, but it was basically, your mother abandoned us type of situation. So I had this complex that, oh, my mom abandoned me. But I wasn't angry at her. You know what I'm saying? My brother was angry at her, which, I didn't really realize why my brother was so angry until I became an adult myself. But I was never angry about it. I was just like, damn, what's wrong with me? Like, like everybody else had a mom. Everybody's mom was, whatever. So, like, I always just internalized it.
Really?
Like something was wrong with me to make my mother not want to be around me. Of course, my dad didn't know that. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's just hurt himself and at war with my mother. So then...
And I'm sure he felt abandoned.
And my mom, like, she moved on with her life, man. And then she got remarried, and she had... she was pregnant with my brother, and so he was like, "Oh, she's got this other family, blah 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 blah." So I'm like, okay, so not only does my mom not really love me, like I was like, yeah, something's really wrong with me now. She's got this other family, this other kid. So then my mom comes for me. I'm like, oh, this is great. But I still have this in the back of my head. And, of course, my little brother's the baby. And you're obviously going to treat the baby differently. And the stepfather obviously is going to... he was good to us. But, I mean, that's his... You know what I'm saying? So... And I don't think my stepdad grew up in a divorced environment. So, like, he did his best, in my opinion. Well, I get to my mom's. And then she's like, basically, that my dad preferred my older brother... And he loved my older brother more, and yada, yada, yada. And it was just, so, so I grew up.
Why was she saying that? What do you think the goal was?
It was just, they're at war with each other. You know what I'm saying? They're at war with each other. And you want, anytime you're at war, as we could see, you want allies. And you want to villainize the bad guy. And you want to simplify the bad guy is just he's just a complete totality of evil. And I'm the complete totality of good. They're the complete villain, and I'm the complete victim. You know what I'm saying? And so they didn't mean to, like, fuck me up psychologically, but I grew up for probably the totality of my childhood feeling like my older brother was loved more by my dad, and my younger was loved more by my mom. So I kind of felt like I was floating around, like I didn't belong anywhere for my entire life, pretty much as a child. And
jeez.
So when unfortunately I got divorced and all that, and I had to blend families, it really informed a lot of the ways that I was determined to treat everybody. And there were situations that were happening on your side with homeboy or homegirl, however you look, that I expected and I understood, where you're like, okay, then we're going to do this and that. And I said, oh, we're not doing that shit. But he said this and this and that to her. And I'm like, We're not doing that.
Yeah.
Because I knew he's at war. So he's trying to join allies and all the rest of it, and it's gonna fuck with her. And I'm not gonna be party to that. And so anytime he said some reckless shit and she would come back and say he said this and that, I'd be like, well, your dad loves you, he's in a lot of pain right now, yada yada yada. And you're like, why are you always defending him? And I'm like, I'm not defending him, I'm defending her.
Yeah, you were right. I just didn't see it at that time because I'd never been through any of that. So
Right.
Right.
I
just, when he would tell her things that weren't true, or he would, put in her head certain things about stuff, and he was trying to, we were already trying to blend a family. We didn't need his input on, adding lies to the situation to make it harder for her to transition,
Yeah.
And that, I really did not like that. So.
Right. But I understood that if we descended to that gutter, we could win.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I have all the texts.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I know. Yeah.
But it would be one of those Pyrrhic victories where, yeah, you got the victory, but at what cost? And, divorce is already hard enough on a kid. And so to put the kid in a situation where they're constantly having to prove loyalties and all the rest of it is a really selfish thing for a parent to do. But my thing is that a lot of times it's happening unconsciously. The parent looks at themselves as being at war with the other parent. They're not looking at it as how do I prioritize the mental health of the kid? They're not looking at it like that. And so here Chad is a grown ass man, and he's still complaining about it. It's, I mean, to this day, I've been doing a lot of internal, especially the last couple of weeks, like internal, like, why are you like this in this specific situation, like me and you? And I think a lot of it has to do with that. You know what I'm saying? So.
Really?
Yeah. So that stays with you for a very, very long time. And that's why I always think to myself, especially when we were blending, I always thought to myself, I said, okay, self, I know enough about myself and human nature in general to know that I am not going to be completely balanced on this. So if I'm going to make an error, I want to error too much on flattening the line between my treatment of Selah and my treatment of the other kids, or expressions of love to Sarah. Like I want to swing too much the other way in that regard. If I'm going to make an error, you see what I'm saying? And so it's pretty much what happened. Like I feel I did overcompensate, and I'm okay with that. Easy for me to say, I'm not the parent, but I was able to balance out, I think, a little bit better over time with my kids, so that they don't feel second rate in their own in their own home, which is a tough thing to balance as well. And but I always said to myself, like, I'm going that way if I'm going to make a mistake on it. Because the other ones have an entire lifetime of character of me, to where I could say, hey, I was just trying to figure this out for a couple of years. Yeah. And I feel like, inshallah, it's worked out that way for the most part.
I think so. Yeah.
But yeah, man, it's two parents are at war, and they're trying to get, and honestly, that really factors into how I'm looking at this entire situation right now with NATO and all the rest of it.
Oh,
Really?
it's
all, yeah, because it's the same thing. It's the same propaganda. It's the same essentializing. It's the same. This guy is bad and he's totally bad, and I have no culpability in this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, believe me. You know what I'm saying? And it's just a microcosm of that, a mixture of human ego, insecurity. You know what I'm saying, and all that, and then who ends up paying the price? Who's paying the price now? It's not
people of Russia.
It's not Putin. It's not Zelensky that's paying the price. It's people of Russia and the people of that are down, underground in Ukraine. Like, it's the kids paying the price because of this ego and bullshit and refusal to compromise and refusal. Nobody's doing anything for the sake of their kids. These guys are the fathers of the nation. They're in the middle of this very real divorce, actually. And so, like, I don't want to get into that. We can get into that on the Middle America side. I'm just saying, like, parents do that, and it's always. My thing is always, I made the decision to marry you, and we made the decision to divorce each other, but our kids never made the decision to be our kids.
Right.
That was a decision we made, and a lot. That's a decision. You know what I'm saying? The three of us made that decision. Our kids didn't make that decision, so I'm gonna do whatever I can to make it less, difficult for them. But a lot of parents are not looking at it that way.
And I had seen that, portrayed in a lot of shows where the kids of the divorced parents feel like it's their fault. I don't think Selah ever felt like it was her fault.
No.
But I know your kids thought, when their mother left, that it was their fault. And I spent a lot of time, I'm sure you did as well.
You did. You did a really good job
telling them that was not your fault. I said that over and over and over and over and over and over.
That was a major, there were other things, obviously, that, we had problems with, we had to figure out. But that was such a major blessing for me to be able, because I couldn't say that because I wasn't bringing that female energy. It's really, really difficult when because usually you hear the dad is doing that. It just hits a completely different way if your mother abandoned. And no disrespect to her, mental health, all that shit. You know what I'm saying? So no disrespect to her.
She got her shit together. She's back around. So
yeah, she's getting her shit together and she's back around. So, but that kind of abandonment is to a kid. If your mom does that, man, it's. So my job in that situation was to uphold the honor your father and mother thing, which, that's kind of, but I couldn't bring that female energy and say, that's not your fault, yada, yada, yada. I couldn't do that. And I was so inside the situation to where it'd be like, oh, that's dad. But for you to come outside and say that, and also considering the fact that you had problems with them, it gave you more credibility to say, yeah, I got problems with you, but this shit is no. And that was probably life-saving for one of them. So, yeah, definitely. That was that was a big thing. I mean, it's a hell of a thing. You know what I'm saying?
Oh. Yeah.
I don't think that it's impossible to recover from that as a kid. That's not impossible to recover from that. But as a parent, you've got to, how things are going to affect the kid has got to be the number one thing. And every parent says that, every parent intends that, but when you're in the midst of all this jihad, and there's a lot of hurt feelings, there's a lot of things that go into why people get divorced, and there's so much history that predates the child.
Yeah.
But you don't know that as a kid until you become an adult. You know what I'm saying? When I became an adult, and then I became a married adult, and then a father, there were so many things where I said, oh, okay. And it didn't It gave me a lot of peace about certain things. It also helped me understand, it helped me understand my older brother, because I didn't get my older brother. I'm like, what is your problem? Why are you so mad at mom? Like, what the fuck? I didn't get it until very, very recently, actually. And you know how my family is. We're not going to talk about that shit.
Right,
so,
right.
There you go. Definitely.
Yeah, and it helped you with the kids and stuff, so.
Huh?
And it helped you with the kids to be there for them like they needed it. What did you think about the instrumentation?
I loved it, especially the middle. This is my favorite song of the...
oh, really? Of the stream?
Yeah. Definitely. This is my favorite song of the stream, for sure.
All right, so for me, this one was a 9.
This is a 9.4 for me. Very insightful lyrics. I can't believe this was this a demo or is it their first record? Either way, you could see that Mudvayne style again. That weird kind of math, jagged transitions.
This one came out in 97.
Really, really good stuff. Was that Kill Iota? That was the name of the record.
Where? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there's a guy holding a gun. I don't think you'd ever see that anymore.
No.
All
right, you guys. I enjoyed this stream. Tony, thanks for bringing us on this new metal journey.
Yeah, upholding the integrity of a divorced spouse to your kids is hard as hell, but very honorable.
Yep. Yep. Sometimes you can't though. You know, like my ex, he lies all the time, and she catches him in so many lies. It's like, I can't defend that. I can't tell her that's okay.
I think the major thing for me is that every kid goes through some level of disillusionment with their parent. But what I constantly affirm is, look, your dad isn't perfect, but he loves you. But I'm trying to strike that balance. But I'm never going to say he's lying because he loves you, because that's going to set her up for horrible relationship paradigms in the future. So I never like whitewash what he does, but I do try to explain, like, there's a couple things that he ruined for her and things of that nature. But I try to explain, like, look, there are other factors here, you know what I'm saying, that we contributed to, that if I had to do it over again, you know, I'd have done it differently, so that the dad doesn't look like a monster. You know, I mean, the entire time we were like, yo, stop being a bitch, man up, suck it the fuck up, and fucking put on a face, do something.
I know.
But he doesn't have it in him. You know what I'm saying? But obviously I'm not going to say that to her, like, your dad doesn't have the kind of fortitude to do that. So it was just kind of like, but yeah, I agree though. Like, if he's a liar, I'm not going to sit here and tell her to accept that and think that that's cool, because I don't want to set her up for.
Exactly.
But
why not do that?
I will say, like, you know, that's why, you know, you have to be careful about who you marry and things of that nature.
So true.
What is never in question is that your dad loves you. You know, he's flawed, but he loves you.
Yeah.
And if my dad would have done that,
it would have saved you some heartache. Yeah.
And my mom, that would have been pretty helpful. You know what I'm saying? But my dad was also not a divorced father. I mean, divorced kid. So he didn't know what that was like. You know, his dad had him, and you heard him. He basically cut the woman out the picture and said, "Thank you very much for my kid," and that was it. You know what I'm saying? So, which is weird, but that's how our family is. The guys in our family are really insane about
their children,
our kids. Yeah, like, we don't fuck around.
Good.
We don't fuck around.
Good
with our kids. So, okay. All right, there you are, dear listener. DJ freaking Tony, the Lone Rider, coming through in the clutch. Coming through in the clutch. I'm starting to feel like you're going to have some preferential treatment to his streams because he's got the new metal shit you like. You like the new metal shit.
I do like the song selections. I will not lie.
Amy Lee in the house. Don't forget to be kind to someone. Oh no, what's happening to me? Yeah. There are many sides to the diamond, dear listener. Having said that, VIN out.
Sorry, out.